Are you raising a brand new assistance puppy or therapy dog? You've got mostly the potty training thing down, but every once in a while you're still having an accident here and there inside your house? If so, this is the video for you when we go over 5 different tips to decrease and limit those accidents in the house. Hey, if this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Dr. Emerald with Working Canine Club, and my mission is to give tips and tools to anyone raising an assistance or therapy dog through online sources. So in this video, we're gonna go over 5 tips to help decrease the number of accidents you've had in your house. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do for potty training, but it's all about kind of what I would consider like the cleanup stuff around just making sure that your dog really has it clear in their mind that they're supposed to go to the bathroom outside rather than inside. And potty training is extremely important for a dog training to be either an assistance dog or therapy dog because, well, as part of the public access test, if your dog is taking that, they can't have any accidents indoors, as well as if you're not getting that public access test, but you're still going into facilities, it's just, good practice to make sure that your dog doesn't have those type of accidents. So we're gonna go through 5 different tips in order to help you along the way so you don't have to be stressing about that, especially as your dog is going through their training and they're doing a lot of socialization in different public venues. So tip number 1 is if you're not 100% focused on your puppy, have them either on a tie down or a crate. And as they're getting a little bit older, use even a playpen to make sure that their space that they're able to move in and around is limited. The reason for this is if your little puppy has the ability to kind of move throughout your home, they're much more likely in the beginning to just get up, move, go to the bathroom, and then come back to where they were hanging out. So it's really important if you're not 100% focused on them to limit their movement, keep them in a secure place so they're also not getting into any mischief as well. For tip number 2, this comes along when you are getting ready to take your dog outside, and this is going to be carrying them out. And the reason for this is that their bladders are a little bitty, and so when they start moving, their muscles begin to contract around their bladder as well as their bowels, which can cause them to have an accident even when you are taking them outside. So that's really important. I recommend for as long as you're able to carry your dog out, especially until they are about like 6 to 8 months of age, when they still don't have full control of their bladder. And as you go along, you can even start to give them maybe some like more freedom to work on that control where, in my particular circumstance, I live in an apartment, so I've got to take my dog out into the hallway, go down to the hallway, take an elevator up, walk along the rooftop, and then go to the potty area. So as Newport, the puppy that I'm currently raising, is getting older, I'm giving him more and more time where I expect him to walk to the actual potty area. So currently, he's expected to walk from the elevator to the potty area outside. And I decided to do it there because I wanted to make sure that even if he had an accident, it was still outside rather than having an accident indoors. So that was really, really important. And as he gets more comfortable, then I'll just expect him to be walking for longer and longer periods of time. This also goes with he's gonna have more bladder control because he's getting older, his bladder is increasing in size. So that's very, very important to keep in mind. But in the beginning, just carry them out. That'll limit the number of accidents that you have in transition because that can certainly be a thing. Tip number 3 is make sure to give your puppy multiple opportunities to pee. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be for every dog, but there are several dogs and where they'll go to the bathroom, you bring them back inside, and then like 5 minutes later, they're all of a sudden having an accident inside, and you're like, oh my gosh, we just were outside, what's going on? Well, this goes back to this whole idea of they don't have full control of their bladders, the muscles around the bladder itself, and then also the muscles that control the bladder aren't fully developed. So what can happen is that your puppy will go to the bathroom, but they're not able to get out all of the pee inside of their bladder. The muscle gets exhausted, so it's not able to contract fully. You go inside, the muscle relaxes for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's contracting again because they need to go to the bathroom. So what I would recommend around this is give them a second chance. So you can take them for a quick little, up and down walk where it's like 30 seconds. It allows their body to reset. Give them an opportunity to go to the bathroom. I also do this when I know that my puppy needs to poop. Sometimes it takes a little bit of extra time to get the muscles to contract around the bowels for them to be able to poop. So for Newport, currently what we do is I'll let him pee, then we do a little quick walk down the walkway and back, and then I give him another opportunity to poop. And that's really important because if I'm not giving him that opportunity, he's not having that sensation of needing to go yet. So that gives a little bit extra time. And what I've actually started noticing as well is that he is much more apt to tell me that he really needs to go, because he'll start moving back towards the potty area because he's like, oh man, I've got to still go to the bathroom, which is starting to layer and teach him the behavior of, if you need to go to the bathroom, you need to let me know by either signaling, by trying to get to the potty area, or making some other commotion that I know that, hey, incoming transmission, so to speak. So that one I found is really useful. This is great, like I said, if you're taking your puppy outside, they pee, and then like 5 minutes later they're peeing inside. So start giving that a shot and see if that will correct some of those inside accidents, especially if you've just taken your dog out. Tip number 4, water in equals water out. As I said before, our puppies' bladders are little itty bitty, so when they start to drink water, that's going to quickly expand the bladder, so they're gonna have to go out pretty quickly. Now, we don't want to completely limit our dog's water by any means, but I do like to keep an eye on how much water my dog is drinking. That way I know how soon they're gonna have to go out. So I like to give my dogs water around their meal times, and then right before we go out to the bathroom, like 5-10 minutes, I'll give them some water in their bowl. It gives some time for the system or their body to kind of filter it, get some of that into their bladder, and then we're on our way outside. And I would recommend that as well. If you're just keeping a water bowl down all the time for your dog, what I notice is that some of the dogs will what's called tank, where they will just drink a whole bunch of water and their bladder will, get really large, and then they immediately have an accident inside. What can also happen is that your dog will start drinking water without you knowing or noticing, and then you don't realize that you're gonna have to take your puppy out pretty quickly after, so then they have an accident. So by keeping track of when they're having water can help limit those accidents, because then you can really time when it is that you're taking them out compared to when you have given them water. Finally, for tip number 5, and this is a big one for any of the dogs that are going to be assistance dogs or therapy dogs, is teach them the bathroom command. What this is going to do is make sure that your dog at least tries to go to the bathroom. So that way when you're going outside to specifically go to the bathroom, you tell them to go, they go to the bathroom, you know that they've actually gone, and then you're able to go inside. What this then translates later on for your dog is when you take them into public spaces, you can toilet them right before you actually go into a store, a coffee shop, a workplace, wherever you're taking your dog to. And that's really important because sometimes you may not have a lot of time for your dog to go to the bathroom, or you may be traveling in between meetings, whatever it might be. But if you can have a command that your dog knows that they're supposed to go to the bathroom, then you don't have to be stressing about this whole thing of, oh man, my dog hasn't gone to the bathroom in like 4 hours and I know that they usually need to go every 3, right? So by having a command around that, your dog will just be able to go to the bathroom. You know that their bladder has been emptied out at minimum. And then most people kind of know their dog's poop schedule as well. So if they go to the bathroom or poop in the morning, midday, and then in the evening, you can kind of be keeping track of that as well. For Newport, it's around 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I know when I take him to go to the bathroom around that time, he's very likely also has to poop. So that is something else that I can keep in mind when I'm taking my dog out, if I need to maybe move him around a little bit if he's been hanging out or laying down a lot. So those are the 5 tips on helping to limit the number of accidents in your home when you're taking your dog out into public. And I think that's a really big key in transitioning your dog to make sure that they're fully potty trained is, first off, limiting those accidents. By limiting them, your dog isn't being reinforced in the idea that they think that they can just go to the bathroom anywhere. You can make it really black and white for them, where they know where they should be going to the bathroom, where they shouldn't be going, and when they should be going to the bathroom. So in the comments below, add what are some things that you're doing with your dog that you need to make sure that your dog is potty trained. Are you taking them in, hopefully, to in the future to hospitals, to counseling centers, maybe schools or your work, where you need to make sure that your dog is fully potty trained? So I'm Dr. Emerald with Working Canine Club. If you've gotten value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to keep up to date on all of the newest videos that we're producing to help you train your assistance or therapy dog. Until next time, I'm Dr. Emerald with Working Canine Club, and I'll see you later. Bye.